Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly mind-bending connection. We're going to explore the ancient, deeply profound philosophy of Gnosticism, but we're doing it using a highly relatable modern metaphor. Think about the sheer, frustrating reality of playing a buggy, low-quality video game on aging hardware. If you've ever felt just totally exhausted by the relentless cycle of consumerism or even the physical limits of your own body, well, this explainer is going to give you a fascinating, totally new lens to view reality through. We're grounding our entire journey today in this quote. I just uninstalled a game, not because it's bad, but my PC can't run it and I refuse to upgrade. Just imagine that for a second. You're sitting at your desk, the screen is stuttering, frame rates are dropping to like single digits, and you just click uninstall. Not out of rage, but in quiet refusal. We're connecting this everyday tech burnout, refusing to keep feeding money into a machine just to play a game, to a profound metaphysical awakening.
Section 1. A low-quality virtual game.
So, mainstream thought usually tells us our world is this perfectly designed, sacred creation, right? But Gnosticism flips that entirely on its head. It suggests that our physical reality isn't some grand masterpiece at all. Actually, it's a buggy, poorly optimized virtual reality matrix. It's literally designed with built-in obsolescence just to drain our energy. And to understand why it's so incredibly bad, you kind of have to meet the developer. Enter the demiurge. In Gnostic thought, this is the false creator. Think of the demiurge as a total hack developer, a bad programmer, who wrote the terrible underlying code of both our physical environment and our biology. This is the programmer responsible for the fact that our biological hardware starts going downhill at 35, or that the silicon grease on our processors just dries up after 7 years. It's an intentionally flawed design, meant to keep us trapped in this exhausting cycle of suffering and maintenance, all so it can harvest our emotional energy.
Now let's contrast that bad code with the pneuma. If the physical world is flawed, the pneuma is the pristine original source code from the true higher realm. And the absolute kicker here, that perfect code is hidden right there, deep within your soul. When you feel a profound sense of alienation from this flawed world, when you feel like you just absolutely don't fit into the rat race, that's your pneuma experiencing a total system incompatibility with the demiurge's matrix. You literally remember a better home.
Section 2. The Gnostic Bye-Bye.
So what actually happens when you finally see through the matrix? When you realize the hardware is completely rigged and you just decide you no longer want to play by its punishing rules? You initiate what we're going to call the Gnostic Bye-Bye. This brings us to Gnosis, which translates roughly to spiritual knowledge or ultimate awakening. Gnosis is that exact moment you realize the biological iron walls, like getting totally wiped out from pulling an all-nighter at age 36, are just part of a massive scam. It's the moment you realize the game rules are full of bugs and you decide to force a server logout. You just stop caring about the in-game achievements entirely.
And this perfectly illustrates the massive divide between Gnosticism and traditional thought. Think about historical figures like Siddhartha Gautama, who saw the suffering of aging and disease and sought a way to accept and transcend cause and effect. Traditional thought basically says, accept your suffering, adapt to it. But Gnosticism? It says something radically different. It says, the baseline code of this world is trash. I refuse to adapt to it. I'm saying bye-bye. It isn't about punishing the body at all. It's simply about not taking the game's rules seriously anymore.
Section 3. The Paradox of Desire.
Okay, but if the game is so obviously flawed, how on earth does the demiurge keep so many players logged in and grinding every single day? Well, they do it by using an incredibly ingenious trap, the relentless, dizzying cycle of material desire. Think about how this trap works in real life. A new game, let's say the highly anticipated GTA 6, drops and demands super high specs. So what do? You sell your precious time to earn money. You buy that crazy expensive new CPU or graphics card. But inevitably, the hardware ages, the manufacturers squeeze out these tiny incremental upgrades like toothpaste, and then, boom, the next demanding game releases. It's a perfect demonstration of how the demiurge forces you to endlessly chase upgrades in a psychological and consumerist trap.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this. The Matrix operates on one cold, hard economic law. There is absolutely no free lunch in the demiurge's world. Every single desire, every single urge for a material upgrade comes with a massive hidden price tag. And the currency you're forced to use? It isn't just cash.
The terrifying reality is actually a simple, totally unbalanced transaction. On one side, we have the material goods we all want, the latest hardware, bigger houses, higher social status. On the other side is the true cost paid, The currency demanded for even the most cost-effective upgrades in this world is always pieces of your very soul. You pay with your time, your dignity, and your mental health. It's basically an unfair, high-interest loan where you're trading your infinite spirit for temporary, depreciating digital dust.
Section 4. Hacking the Matrix.
All right, so we're awake, but we're still stuck here in these 36-year-old biological meat suits that come with built-in dopamine cravings and hunger. How do we survive this phase? How do we exist here without completely losing ourselves? Well, here's your non-symmetrical resistance survival guide. First off, acknowledge that your desires exist. Don't violently suppress them, because honestly, that's just another form of playing the game. Instead, engage in what our source calls low-limit free riding. Basically, you can look at the incredible specs of a 9800X 3D processor or admire the stunning graphics of a new game trailer. You're just window shopping. You are effectively freeloading off the Matrix's server, enjoying the view without spending a single soul coin to actually buy it. You navigate the world as a self-aware solo player, not just another automated NPC.
When your soul becomes a not-for-sale item, the Demerge's world goes completely bankrupt in front of you. That thought perfectly encapsulates the ultimate defense mechanism. By living in the Matrix, but drawing a hard line in the sand, like truly refusing to trade your spiritual sovereignty for a temporary material high, you strip the Demerge of all control over you. They can try to market to you all they want, they can try to make you panic about aging, but if your soul is clearly marked not for sale, their entire economy just collapses right in front of your eyes.
Section 5. The Ultimate Ideal World.
Now, if this matrix is just a flawed copy, what does the real world actually look like? In Gnosticism, this is called the Pleroma, the original realm of light and perfection. It's our true home. And the contrast here is just striking. The Demiurge's world is exhausting, right? It relies entirely on resource scarcity, zero-sum games, and that brutal equivalent exchange where you literally have to sell your soul for scraps. But the Pleroma? It is a realm of infinite energy. There's zero scarcity. Creation is simply a pure, direct extension of consciousness and love. You don't have to sacrifice pieces of yourself to create or experience beauty. There's no equivalent exchange, simply because there is nothing lacking.
You know that deep longing you have for a world where you don't have to sell your soul just to exist? That isn't laziness. Not at all. That is a memory of the Pleroma. When you refuse to participate in the endless consumer cycle, when you quietly and calmly click uninstall on a game instead of draining your bank account to upgrade your rig, that is an elegant, high-dimensional rebellion. It's the ultimate proof of your soul's supreme dignity.
I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to carry with you. The Matrix is constantly going to throw new, shiny objects your way. That's just what it does. But the next time you feel that burning urge to upgrade, whether it's your PC, your car, or even your social status, just stop for a second and evaluate that pursuit. Ask yourself, is the price of playing this broken game really worth the fragments of your infinite soul you're about to spend?